So I'll just put this in presenter mode and then we can start. Great. Well, hello. My name's Michelle Bellons. I'm the course coordinator for our undergrad disability degrees. And just letting everyone know that the room is being recorded because we've got some students who'll be watching the recording for our city campus orientation a little bit later. Fantastic. So I'm thrilled that some of us have made it to the room. It's such a beautiful campus, and if you haven't yet had a chance to come down and check it out, it's wonderful. It's really lovely, beautiful space to be in. Before we start, I will like to just do a quick acknowledgement of country. And Flinders Uni acknowledges the traditional owners and custodians of the lands in which our campuses are located. And these are traditional lands of many different peoples across South Australia and Northern Territory. We honour the elders past, present and emerging. So just, perhaps not everyone may be aware, but Flinders Uni does have a lot of campuses. We've got the new campus here in the city. We've got our main campus in Bedford Park. We, in Disability and Community Inclusion, mostly teach in Sturt campus. And then we've got a Flinders Met campus. And then Tonsley, which is absolutely gorgeous as well too. Campuses in the Riverland, up in the Northern Territory. So a whole range of places. So I'm quite excited to teach here in the Sturt campus. So a little bit about myself. I'm a developmental educator by background, but I also am a graduate of this particular degree as well, an earlier iteration of it. So back in the 90s, I started off on an earlier version, which is called Bachelor of Disability. No. It was called Bachelor of Applied Science in Disability Studies. And back then, different Australian universities were offering quite a range of disability studies degrees. Now, not so much. So we are now the only undergraduate disability studies program in Australia. We are extremely proud of that. We've been going for 40 years at Flinders and have an incredibly strong teaching and research team in disability and community inclusion. We're also the only accredited undergraduate program for developmental education in the country as well too, which we're again very proud of. Mm-hmm. So I started sitting where you are back in probably 96 was my first year, and had a wonderful time studying the undergrad degree, found an interest in research, so I then went on and did my honours, an honours degree, which is 1 year full-time or 2 years part-time, and then that was a pathway for me to do a PhD, and that's where you study for 4 years full-time, and then get to be called a doctor, which I still don't use. I don't. It gets people confused, and now I have a balanced role here at the Flinders Uni. So that means I do teaching, I do research, and a fair whack of administration as the course coordinator, making sure that the whole program is up to date and supporting all of our teaching teams. So we have quite a large and very diverse teaching team in disability and community inclusion. We've got about, I'm going to say around 15 or so academic staff members, 15 to 20 perhaps. These are staff members who come from all sorts of different backgrounds. So we have more than half of them are developmental educators, but we also have people who come from, again, disability studies and advocacy, or from, who else do we have, from psychology backgrounds, social work, quite a diverse range. And we also have a wonderful team of disabled academics and scholars as well too within our team. So many of our team are neurodivergent, have lived experience of disability, and all of our curriculum is developed together with people with disability and industry stakeholders as well too, to make sure that we're current and up to date. So again, I wear a number of different hats, but one of my other roles, I also do some work 1 day a week with the South Australian Intellectual Disability Health Service, who provide access to healthcare for people with severe, moderate to very profound levels of intellectual disability, people who otherwise wouldn't have access to perhaps a GP or wouldn't have access to hospital services, etc. So some pretty wonderful work that the team do there, and I lead the research for that team. And I'm also on our professional association for developmental educators, the DEAI, so I'm the deputy chair there as well. So if you've got any questions about our professional association, come grab me. So you can check out all of the staff have little profiles where you can see the types of research we're doing, the other community involvement activities that we do, and goodness, everything else, the types of topics that we supervise research students on, etc. Okay, now our academic lead is Professor Sally Robinson. So she's unable to be here today, but she extends a very warm welcome to all of our new students as well. Sorry?
Do you want me to move it for you?
No, that's okay. I'm just curious how it's recording me because I can't see that. I hope it is. Fantastic. So Sally again is, comes with such a, she's so warm and welcoming and is very much oversees our entire discipline. So our discipline is called Disability and Community Inclusion. So we sit within College of Nursing and Health Sciences. And a lot of the topics that you'll be doing sitting in classes together with students from other health and allied health courses, from psychology, behavioural science. Who else did you have in your class, Tommy, from backgrounds? That's pretty much it?
Yeah, pretty much. There's some people from psychology come through as well.
Yeah, psychology, yes. Yeah. So it's very multidisciplinary classes. So the people that you'll be working together with when you graduate, you're also studying together with as well. Fantastic, and I'll introduce you to Cassandra.
So hello, my name's Cassandra. I'm your student engagement coordinator, which means that if you... Oh, I need a mic. Sorry. Oh, I should... Yes. So, sorry, I'm Cassandra, so I'm your student engagement coordinator. So what this means is that if you ever need any supports while you're studying, someone to talk to about perhaps the topics that you're taking, your study plan as well, and also some wellbeing activities whilst you're on campus that can help you with your studies, I'm the person you can come and talk to. You can just email me and make a time, and we can sit together and have a chat about what might assist you with your learning whilst you're at Flinders. A bit about me, so I'm a teaching specialist in the team. I teach in the undergraduate and postgraduate programs. So this semester you'd have me in the Disability Service Landscape, which is here on a Wednesday. So I'll be teaching in the city, otherwise I teach at Sturt. My background is similar to Michelle's. I started a few years earlier. So in the iteration of applied science and disability studies, I did that undergraduate program and then honours as well. I went off though and worked in local government for over 20 years in community development, community neighbourhood houses, and was a leader across various teams within local government. And then went on and did a PhD in the area of integration of new arrivals into the community. And I'm back now here at Flinders for 5 years, which is flown by. So in third year, you'll see me in building community capacity as well, and then some postgrad topics too. But if you do need any assistance whilst you're studying, please make a time to see me. Okay, thank you, and I'll be back a bit later.
Excellent. So we'll pass on to Tommy. Thanks so much, Tommy.
Okay, Tommy.
Want to come stand where we are?
Sure. Thank you. When I first came into uni, the start of the year, I was probably a bit anxious, a bit overwhelmed. And I thought, am I going to cut it? With me, I'm 50 years old. It's been 35 years since I've done an essay, so I didn't know how I was going to go. So what I did was I went through the topic Finding Your Way at Flinders, which is on flow, and I found that very, very good to help me with a study plan, with career pathways and skills for success. I also went on to look at the Student Learning Support Service and got a lot of help there in terms of referencing and writing skills and how to write an essay. My first essay I got 80%. I was pretty happy about that. So 35 years later, I did okay. I was pretty happy. Here we've got the Student Learning Lounge as well, which is really good. You can go in and ask people questions if you've got an assignment to do and you're not sure how to go about it. Also, the lecturers are great. Just email them and ask them the questions and they'll answer them. We've got student services here. Also got Studiosity, which is something where if you're doing an assignment, you can hand submit it and you'll get some feedback of how it's going. The library's good, and a lot of assistance through the library here as well. If you ever need to contact me, you can email me if you like, and I can give you a hand and point you in the right direction if anyone needs to find out about a certain service. But for me, I found the supports in Flinders was just fantastic. It's just really, really good. It's a great place to be. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thanks so much, Tommy. I appreciate that. Yeah, so sometimes when you have a concern and you're not feeling quite confident enough to go directly to the topic coordinator or even to me as the course coordinator, that's another way in which your student reps can be a really approachable additional alternative avenue to identify concern or a complainant or talk about something that you're worried about in relation to your study here. So thanks so much, Tommy. So Tommy's our city campus rep. We also have other reps, about 7 other undergraduate reps in our online and main campus, our Sturt campus availabilities as well too. So we are also, yes, so we, every semester we also have a new intakes of student reps as well too. So if it's something that you think you might like to step into a leadership role with, Cass will be sending some more information in the next few weeks about student rep opportunities as well too. Good. Okay, so across our undergraduate programs, we did a really significant curriculum refresh and redesign a number of years ago, and we have this new curriculum which we started teaching in 2021. So what are we, 4 years into it now? And there's constant updates going on year upon year. But one of the important redesign elements was to ensure that we designed a flexible way of studying our undergrad courses. So we've got what's called nested courses. So students who find and would like to just do the first year of our curriculum can exit or graduate at the end of finishing all of those first year topics. There are 8 first year topics, and then you can graduate with a diploma if you're going, excellent, that's all I need right now for the next stage of my career, or life is perhaps not, thrown some unexpected curveballs, I need to make a bit of a change, so I'll take the diploma at this point and head off. If you continue and finish the first 2 years, you can graduate with an associate degree at the end of that. Or if you continue and finish the first 3 years of the curriculum, then we've got the Bachelor of Disability and Community Inclusion. Now that's a really attractive undergrad bachelor degree, 3-year bachelor degree, for students who are looking to advance their leadership career in the disability and community services sector. So we've got a lot of people who take this particular 3-year degree because they're looking to step into disability advocacy roles, leadership in disability advocacy, or in government, local, state, national government roles. Often you just need a bachelor degree to continue progressing up the pipeline in all of those, extending your understanding of theoretical underpinnings of good best practice in disability theory and support. So. Also, a 3-year bachelor degree will give you entrance into postgraduate studies as well. So to go into a grad cert or a master's degree, you'll need a bachelor degree and bachelor undergraduate degree to be eligible. So a number of our students will finish at the end of the 3 years because they want a pathway into, let's say, Master of Audiology, to be an audiologist, or into a Masters of Speech Pathology, to be a speech pathologist, pathologist, or into an MBA, or into medicine, postgraduate medicine. So there's all sorts of, that's just 4 I can think of off the top of my head, but there's all sorts of postgrad pathways, career pathways that might be attractive for. And students who explicitly want to be a qualified developmental educator and positive behaviour support practitioner will do the full accredited 4 years of the degree. So you can see we're doing all the same subjects all the way down, and the complexity builds year upon year. So again, the full 4 years is the accredited degree, and there are very specific topics in that 4th year that have been developed to ensure that you've got the skills and competencies for professional practice as an allied health professional. So developmental educators in Australia are pretty much we're the new kids on the block in terms of allied health professionals. We were first recognised as AHPs by the South Australian Government in 2011. So again, quite new compared to all the others. And so I'll touch on a few more bits and pieces about that program soon. Fantastic. So just quickly, I'd love to hear which degree you're enrolled in.
Doing the associate degree, just because I wanted to see if I would get through 2 years.
Fantastic. Exactly. And a lot of people say, actually, I think
4 years, but so too.
That seems like a manageable first step. Absolutely. That's wonderful. Great. And is this your first time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Welcome. It can be a daunting experience coming in as not a school leaver necessarily, and as Tommy was introducing as well too, there's a lot of supports here available for you. So please do put your hand up, and we can jump in and help. Brilliant. Okay. Well, and so also it sounded like, did you mention you were doing it part-time?
No.
Full-time. We're jumping in
full-time. Yeah.
Fantastic. Great. All right. That's straightforward. Good. So in terms of getting essentials sorted, there's Wi-Fi in the building. You use your username, which is your first 4 letters of your surname, and then the next 4 numbers, and your password. Brilliant. So again, just the students tab up on our website has all sorts of really easy to follow instructions on how to get everything set up. But do yell out if you need. There's assistance everywhere in this building for all of that stuff. Your student ID card, so make sure you get that one sorted. Gives you access, 24-hour access to all sorts of things, including libraries and stuff like that. Just out of interest, does the library here in the city campus, is that open 24/7, or does that have a...
I'm not sure.
No, never tested it out. Yeah, I know in the Bedford Park and Sturt campuses, our libraries are open 24/7, and you just need your student card to use that, and then you have access. Great. So if you need any assistance enrolling, have you managed to enrol in all 4 topics? Fantastic. But tips there. This week is O week. So this is you're going to have access now to all of the topics that you have enrolled in for this semester. We use a management system called Flow, which is called Flinders Learning Online. It's also called Canvas, but those 2 terms are used interchangeably. We just started using Canvas at the start of this year, so it was all a bit of a big learning curve for the rest of us, but it's going to be seamless for you. But everything, all of your teaching materials, everything is on that one Flow site for your topic. So all of the readings, your electronic readings, your access to the library, the whole shebang. Your pre-recorded lecture videos are up there. All the activities that you'll do for that week's module, and then you come in during the week for your face-to-face tutorial here on campus. All of the assignments are submitted there on that Flow site. You can communicate directly with your tutor, lecturer on that Flow site as well too. So it's very much a one-stop shop. Another thing I'll mention is that all of the readings, textbooks, etc. in our DSRS topics, so topics within our discipline, are all electronic and available for free via our Flinders Uni library. So there's no, unless you really want to, you can buy all of the textbooks, via Amazon or Booktopia or secondhand from anywhere. But some people prefer a nice hard copy. Maybe did you buy anything in hard copy, Tommy, or did you just access all of the electronic versions?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's not always the case at uni. Different disciplines will, require you to buy some pretty hefty textbooks, but ours are all free. Good. Okay. Oops. Did I miss one? Scholarships, yes. So if you need some assistance with scholarships, do check out the range. I think, we were having a chat last night. I was running an evening session last night, and one of the students was saying, most of them tend to be geared towards younger people, so people under the age of like 26 and under. But do make contact with the scholarships team to find out.
One of our placement students and fourth years, Amanda, she got a scholarship for travel. So she's a mature age student, and she was successful in receiving one for her placement. So she went to do her placement in Mildura. So that assisted with the scholarship. So there you go.
That's a great tip. Yeah, good. Yeah, but always do ask. And if you have a disability or have an access plan, also reaching out, because there may be more flexible guidelines around those scholarships as well too. Safety is really important for all of us, all staff and students and everyone who uses our building here. So if you do see anything that's unacceptable or you're concerned about, please do make a confidential report. And we've got all of our contact details here. We've got great security on site as well. If you find just that you're working here at night time, there's a wonderful the security at the front door will walk with you to the train station or the tram stop at, 6 o'clock, at 7 o'clock, at 8 o'clock, at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So on the hour, they'll walk with you there. Things can get a little bit hairy in this particular area late at night. A lot of people are leaving the casino, perhaps a little bit inebriated and affected. So I'm always I'm very conscious that I can chat to the security guys and they can walk me to my tram stop, which is lovely. Great. Brilliant. So in terms of, we've got a new Flinders Uni app here for the city campus as well too, which is really good. So definitely recommend you pop that on your phone. You can download that there. And we've got some great counselling and disability services available here in the city campus. So you can chat with a counsellor, you can book a private appointment. We've got our disability advisors here as well too, which will help develop an access plan. Help with assistive technology. I noticed there was an assistive technology room that's been set up here as well. And just help using all the different resources. So do check out there. But also Flinders, we also have a great after-hours crisis support line. So having that number in your phone is really valuable, or you can text as well too, 24/7. And it doesn't have to be Flinders Uni related issues or concerns or study concerns. It can be anything going on in your life and you need some support. So that's definitely some of the perks of being a uni student. You get access to our great health and counselling support teams as well. Nice. Okay, so we've got a learning lounge here on campus. The Student Learning Support Service, they do one-on-one study support online or in person. Is it the same level as the library?
Level 4. Yeah.
Level 4, the pink level. We've got the learning lounge where you can just drop in and then study away there and put your hand up, and then someone will come over and help you out with something for a few minutes. So Tommy was mentioning about referencing. You've used that for referencing support. Any of you need help to problem solve a particular issue. How do I find this, or what do they mean by explore and discuss, or like what whipping out your assignments and asking some questions. The people who staff that there are and not specific to our discipline, but they can help with understanding generic stuff to do with uni assessments. Great. So learning advisors, so definitely use the supports there, and you're definitely, at least in your first year. And then we've got our library, we've got library here, but it's some lovely things here. I noticed there's quite a lot of legal stuff in the law library. I said they were just started opening. Oh, I've never read this stuff before. You can find out the details of who got, most of our stuff, it's all electronic anyway in our discipline, disability and community inclusion. If there is a textbook or a resource that you think we should have in the library here on campus, they're really keen for us to let them know so we can make recommendations. And if you think, there's you'd love a hard copy version of all the textbooks that we're doing, we need a copy there, then we can organise that. Great, FUSA, Flinders Uni Student Association. So did you notice on level 1 today, level 1, level 2, there were all sorts of clubs and societies and groups going on there. Flinders Uni have so many different clubs and societies going on, and some really, really interesting ones too. So remember to be a part of university life if you can. It's always a good one. I've always been meaning to join the ultimate frisbee team. I saw the guys down there as well too. I'm like, I'm going to sign up. Brilliant. But they also run some great academic advocacy supports as well. So if you find you're in a position where you want to make a complaint or you feel you've been unfairly treated by the tutor or the topic coordinator, something was unfairly marked or something has gone wrong, FUSA will provide academic advocacy, will meet with you and explore, unpack, make sure you understand the assessment policies and can use those to make a case. They also provide a lot of great financial counselling as well too, and of course our clubs and societies. Great, so again all sorts of supports for our international students as well going on. So again, if that's you, check out those supports. Good, and other services. We've got Student Success Wellbeing Advisors, Equal Opportunity Advisors, we've got the Pride Network and the Good Vibes Experiment. Cass, did you want to mention anything further about any of those services and supports here at Flinders?
I was just going to say with FUSA as well, like Michelle said, in terms of financial support, so if you need any assistance with budgeting or any of those skills, they'll help with those things as well. But the other services that Flinders provides, the Student Success and Wellbeing Advisors, you can come to me, or if you also wanted to speak to someone independent from us, you can speak to the Student Success and Wellbeing Advisor as well, and I can refer you to her, it's Mel. And the Good Vibes Experiment, there might be some booklets that you can grab on that when you're here. There's some great activities in there for your wellbeing. It's a fabulous program that was developed, and I think it won some prizes as well. But there's things in there around meditation and relaxation and just some activity guides with that experiment too. And that's all on the Flinders website too. Yeah.
Lovely to see some 10-minute mindfulness sessions being offered.
I saw those too.
Level 2.
Yep.
Yeah, counselling room. You just pop in. You don't have to book. You just pop in and join. Another point, there's not a slide up about this, but another group is one of our fastest growing groups here at Flinders is the Neurodivergent Studies or Student Support Group. Again, which is spectacular and a great way if you identify as being neurodivergent to connect up with other neurodivergent students and staff and advocate.
And they also had some spaces. I don't know if there's one here, but at the Sturt campus, there's a space where you can go and you can sort of unwind and feel that if you need to just be and relax in that space, if it's not too overloaded with sensory activities and things. So I think that's in the main library at Flinders campus. I'm not sure if there's one here though.
There are quiet rooms.
Quiet rooms here. Yep.
Campus as well.
Yep.
Fantastic. Okay. Oh, look at and our city campus service team has sent us these slides to pop up. They apologise they can't be here today, but have popped up. So we've got on level 1, which is when you come up the escalators. There's an interactive map to find your way around campus there. And then there's a digital queue to get information from the friendly Welcome Hub staff. That's nice. Check out the digital queue or get information from the friendly Welcome Hub staff. That makes better sense. They are so lovely there. Or just buy a coffee and drink it on the balcony taking the view. That's a nice bit of advice. That's where I was having lunch today. Fantastic. And I understand they're also going to be introducing food as well too later this year as well. Their pickle in the middle, whatever, restaurant-y cafe.
Yeah, the signs are out the front. Yeah.
Brilliant. So that is the queue, Touch to Start business here.
Level 2. This is where student services live. Now, if you want to have a chat with someone from student services or from the IT team, you can book into the digital queuing system to speak to us. Now, you can either do that by using the Flinders app, which you can download on your phone, or you can use one of these kiosks. And I'm going to show you how these work right now. That's it, guys.
You have Tommy?
See you later.
It's very good.
Good. What did you need to ask?
I think it was around the enrolment time. That's an enrolment question, I think. And another time I'd asked to get my ID done. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So enrolment, support, and ID.
Yeah, so I just put my details in there and sat down, and about 2 minutes later someone come and saw me.
And 2 minutes later, someone came and found you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's nice. Good service.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, I think our students would prefer our topic coordinators and tutors be that responsive as well too. That's wonderful. Good. Okay, so student services offer all sorts of stuff from enrolment support, financial support, the ID card collections, transcript collections, so that's at the end when you have an academic transcript and you'd like a formal version of that to be printed out for you. Applying support, so to do an application to perhaps change course. IT support. I also noticed that you can borrow laptops here in the city campus as well too for 6 hours during the day. And of course International Student Services and the FUSA, which is our clubs and societies, student advocacy, welfare and social activity. So they are a cracking team. Good. Great. All right, so level 2, we go up one level. This is a student services lounge and kiosk. Great. We've got our FUSA. FUSA lives on level 2 as well, and you can just chill there. They've got some games.
Yeah, I spotted them before. They have Uno and different things up there to play with.
Okay. And that's also where the student advocacy and financial services are. And then we've also got our counselling room there and disability services. So free, confidential, face-to-face help. So free. It's amazing. You can laptop lockers, borrow a laptop for up to 6 hours to use on campus. Level 2, that's so cool. And we've also got lockers for you to store your bags and stuff like that in case you're going to go head out for lunch or go up into another room and you don't need to bring everything with you, or you're going out to meet friends later and you want to put a bag there. So make use of living or working in the city. It's pretty exciting. And vending machines, coffee, snacks, study breaks, etc., etc. Okay, so moving up to level 4. What's going on level 4? Our librarian. Again, more student learning support services. We've got our kitchen in level 4 over there. So again, you can use use your microwave. Free coffee and tea down there as well. Adaptive technology rooms if you have a disability. And we also have our Yungarendi safe space for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students. So again, using your student card, you can get access to use that safe getaway room to catch up with friends. And the balcony, we've got some beautiful balconies on level 4. Also, we've got a male prayer room on level 4, the female prayer room on level 5, a parents' room on level 6. We've got printers everywhere, coffee on level 1, kitchens everywhere, vending machines, hangout spaces. It's also, it's lovely. Beautiful room. If you've ever been to our Sturt campus, this is by far a superior place to study and learn and be. and meet up with other people as well, to use this as a meeting space for family and friends as well. Great, okay, brilliant. So they're open 8 till 8, Monday to Friday. Beautiful, good. All right, so we're done with all of that stuff. Yeah, why not?
So, finding your way at Flinders. So we have, as Michelle said, our student learning system is called Flow. So on Flow, on each of your topic sites, there's also a tab called Finding Your Way at Flinders as well. So it will help you work your way through the Canvas site, but also get familiar with the way that Flinders and how universities work, and you might need some skills that you need along the way. So this site here will help you discover tricks and shortcuts and tips to study, and find out, again, all the support services that are here on campus but across our other campuses as well. And then there's some videos on there too. And then your tab down the bottom. Just the arrow key, Michelle?
Yeah.
So this week is O Week, Orientation Week. We have one at the beginning of the year and for the new student intake in the middle of the year. So activities all week here on campus, and if you have a chance to go to Bedford Park as well. So if you have any questions, again, the Student Support Services team will provide help all year round though. So during O Week you'll find them, it says here on level 5 from 9 till 5 and no appointments necessary. So that's level 5. On the 18th, which is today, so here you are, there's course welcome sessions like you're in now, but intro to Flow and textbooks. So if you need to get some support with how to use Flow, you can perhaps pop into those. Uni Essentials, this is on level 2 because I was there before I came up here. There's career services down there as well if you want to have a chat to them already about potential career ready activities. And Mix and Mingle, I think, was happening on level 1 and level 2 before I popped up, so lots of stuff happening there. Lots of things to collect, pens, notepads, bags, drinks, food.
Did you find the free food?
Free food on 2, donuts and drinks, cold rolls. And the orientation planner as well, you can visit that online on that tab, and that will help you through the rest of the week as well. So key dates this semester to remember. So as we said, this is O Week. Classes start next week. So Monday classes all commence, or you've already got access to them online already. So you can start looking at lectures ahead of time, and then also some of the activities. Or if you're in person, obviously, you'll come into your classes here in the city campus, and your timetable would already have that on there for your times, that you've got that all set up. Okay with that? Then we have Connect Week. So Flinders continues to provide activities throughout the first few weeks of semester. So this is more fun activities, ways to meet other people, meet people that you'll study with, and hopefully develop lifelong friendships and networks with into your career. And then in August the 2nd, last day to enrol in topics is the second week of August, so week 2, or the 2nd of August, week 2. Then we have what's called census date in week 5. So this is when you can unenrol in a topic. Perhaps things have got a little hectic, or you might like to drop a topic or change your enrolment. Census week 5 allows you to do that without incurring any fees. So that's what we call census date. And then last in October is the last day to withdraw without failure in week 9. So just some important dates to keep in mind as well as you're studying. Some top tips. So as we said, Flow is your learning management system. Keep an eye out for pings. So you'll get a newsletter from Flinders. I believe this comes through on your phone. Tommy, did you get ping when you were? Yep, great. So sometimes you'll get that. There might be so much information you don't need it, but other times there might be something helpful on there. Did you find that helpful?
I think you have to actually register to get it.
You register, okay,
Yes.
yep. So here's where you can do that as well. And then socials, Flinders has Facebook pages. We have our own Facebook pages as well within our discipline. Students have developed those as well, so you just search for, I guess, disability and community inclusion, or do you know the names of?
It's the student-led Facebook page.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the name.
Actually, but
I can't remember.
Yeah.
And then Ask Flinders is a great way if you've got a question. I think Tommy said that before as well. You can just type in a question on Ask Flinders and it will give you the immediate response and then where to go from there. And FUSA again, don't be afraid to ask for help, and then to seek help if you need through the student tab on your website as well for Flinders. Back to Michelle for course-specific information.
Great. Good. Okay, so again, we've got a lot of flexibility built into our disability and community inclusion programs. In contrast to other allied health degrees where you can only study full-time, we also offer part-time options as well too. It's important to us that our student cohort is diverse because we want a diverse workforce out there as well. Full-time, according to our course rule, and if you're progressing through it, if you're doing the associate degree 2 years full-time, you're doing 8 topics each year. According to the government will give you benefits and will consider 3 topics a semester full-time as well too. So in case you need to drop down to 3 topics, you won't lose government support as well too. So, but to get through our course, full-time for us is 8 topics a year. So what is absolutely critical to success at uni is good time management, and the uni, they've got all these great little sort of weekly study planner things, but really being meticulous in how you use your diary each week to block out the time that you're going to need. Otherwise, time just wishes away from you, and everything. You get at the end of the semester's upon us, and all the assessments are due, and then you're feeling completely out of control. So again, my biggest tip is go hard early with time management. I've got a family friend of mine. He's just, as a mature age student in his 50s, gone back to uni as well to study psychology. He's got a big whiteboard in his bedroom that he, day to day, writes down exactly what he's going to be doing. Everything is visual. There are so many fantastic apps that you can make use of to keep you on track and keep you accountable. So if it's in your diary, then you're feeling guilty if you're not doing it, essentially. Otherwise, things go haywire. So this is just an example here of just block out your time. For each topic that you enrol in, the university is expecting you're going to spend somewhere between 8 and 10 hours a week on that one topic studying. So if you're doing 4 topics, it's equivalent to a full-time job in terms of time expectations. So within that time frame, what you're doing is you're doing the online readings for that week. You're watching the weekly pre-recorded recordings for that week. You're doing the online activities for that week to test your knowledge, and there may be discussions or quizzes or things like that to make sure that you've got the concepts right. Then there's the tutorial that you'll come to. So in our topics, it's about an hour and a half each week. And then you're working on your assessments as well too. So by the time you get to the end, it's roughly how much time it may take. A lot of students new to uni really underestimate how much time you need to put in to understand the content and stay on top of it, and feel calm as well too. Manage your own anxiety around it as well too. If you do find that things are slipping a little bit, some unexpected things have happened in your semester, be aware of those critical enrolment dates. Week 5, you can withdraw. That's all cool. If you need to, chat with me and go, oh my gosh, I really think we need to rethink my study plan because I've had to make some changes. That's what I do all the time with students. I've got some really bespoke study plans with so many students. So reach out to us. Check your uni email regularly. This is the key. We will never send you anything to your private email address. We will only use your Flinders Uni email address. Make sure it's synced to whatever main email you do use so you don't miss a thing. It's really up to you to make sure that you proactively check that when, if you've perhaps not, if there are critical things that you need to know about, perhaps you may not have passed a particular assignment, or you're going to be given a chance to do a supplementary assessment. This is where it's all going to go, so don't miss any of that stuff. And also when you're contacting us, just use your Flinders email account, otherwise we're likely to miss it. If you're using your Hotmail account or your Gmail account or your work account, it's likely that it may go to junk for us. So, but if it's from your Flinders email, we will always get it. So that's our second big tip. For people who are doing the 1, 2 or 3 year degree, you've got a really straightforward full-time study plan. There's nothing weird about it. You do 4 topics in semester 2, then come back, finish off the other 4 first year topics in semester 1, then the next 4 topics in year 2, and the next 4 topics in year 2. So it's straightforward. It's only for our mid-year entry 4-year full-time BDDE students that things get a little bit peculiar, because the 4th year of our curriculum is really quite rigid, and you can't start that 4th year mid-year. You have to start that 4th year in semester 1 and then pass those topics to be able to get into semester 2. So that's why this is a slightly different plan for full-time BDDE mid-year students, and that's where you're going to have to do 3 topics in semester 2 each year to get to the point where you're ready to start 4th year from go. So just letting everyone know up front that can be a little bit different. Otherwise, looking at our mid-year study plans, we've got pracs in different locations. So students who are doing the diploma don't have any pracs. Students who are coming into 2nd year curriculum, we've got a prac 1 here, which is a 100-hour placement. If you are working in the disability sector, if you're working as a disability support worker or as an ESO, educator, a school support officer, or you're support coordinator, or any number of roles, you can apply to have credit for that topic. Is that your scenario?
Yes, I'm a support worker currently.
Great, fantastic. So there's a link here for how you can apply for credit for that, and all you need is to upload a letter of support from your employer on their organisational letterhead that states what your role is, how long you've been doing it, your role, your duties, and how long you've been working.
So I run my own support worker business. Do I just write my own letter?
If you're running your own, is there someone who can vouch for that? Yeah. Let's come have a chat with me. We've got a fair amount of time. You've got another year till you get to that point anyway. But do touch base with me, and we can talk about how we can collate some evidence for that application. That sounds great. Brilliant. Also, if you come into our degree with a certificate 4 or higher in anything, could be a Cert 4 in, I don't know,
Business?
Sure. I'm trying to think of something that's completely unrelated. Then you'll be eligible to get credit for the 1st year option topic. You come in with...
No, just Cert 3.
No, Cert 3, okay. So yes, anyone else? Yeah, so do apply for credit for that 1st year option topic. And of course, if you have done other study, you can demonstrate that how the topics that you've done have met the learning outcomes of the topics that you're seeking credit for as well too. So again, keeping in mind we have a 10-year recency timeline there, so credit only applies to topics or study that you've done within the last 10 years, and that's because of our accreditation requirements. Good. Okay, so all the topics that start with DSRS are topics that sit within our discipline, and you'll also see that there are some topics you do that start with HTLH. They're health-related topics. They come from health science and are taught by the health sciences team, who live on the same corridor as us in Sturt campus, so we support each other quite a lot. But particularly in all of your first year topics, you're going to be sitting alongside other multidisciplinary students. It's almost like a 50-50 mix in some of the topics. Half of the disability studies students and half of the students from elsewhere. So it's a great mix. Here in City Campus, our class sizes are much smaller than our online classes or over in Sturt campus. I think probably there are around 15 or so, perhaps in semester 2 that we may get up to 20.
Well, I've got 12.
You've got 12 in your topic, Disability Service Landscape. So they're really lovely small group sizes to really unpack and explore. When you get to class sizes of 50, things get a bit, it's a different dynamic. So I much prefer, it's almost like a problem-based learning shoot size, 10 to 12. Yeah, I teach in semester 1 in first year, Introduction to Disability and Neurodiversity, and we have about 13 students in that class this year as well. It was lovely. Good. Right, other pracs, so you get to the next prac in year 3 of the curriculum, prac 2, that's 150-hour placement. There's no credit available for any of the later pracs. That's a great one. I'll talk in a moment about compliance requirements, and then we also have some more intensive prac requirements in 4th year, where you're working under direct supervision of developmental educators doing DE roles to ensure that you're safe and competent in doing clinical assessments, conducting, interpreting clinical assessments, writing clinical reports, developing teaching plans and instructional strategies with people with disability. So the more nitty-gritty end of the spectrum, and PBS pracs and capstones. So all good things are coming. So only people who graduate at the end of the 4th year, they will be eligible for full membership with the DEAI to practice as a developmental educator. So you can't call yourself a developmental educator unless you have full membership with a professional association, and particularly to work under the NDIS as well. Great. Okay, so when you do prepare for placements, you need to do so early. You need to do this the semester before you're due to start doing your placement. So this takes time. Cass is also a prac coordinator. And so a lot of students underestimate this, or they forget they've got a prac coming up. Please don't, because it's likely if you miss all the timelines and all the requirements, you're not going to be able to do the prac. We can't do this stuff last minute.
And in disability service landscape topic, in the second to last module, we talk about this so we can get you prepared, and we have some videos on there as well. And it takes about 6 weeks sometimes to get your compliances ready. So that's why we ask you to get in early. But if you do work in the sector, you may have some already.
Yeah.
But there are a few more that are a little bit different for placements too.
Exactly. So again, there's some costs associated with a number of these, and will take 4 to 6 weeks for quite a number. And you also need to ensure that whatever the placements that you do have will be valid for the entire duration of your placement. So they can't run out 2 weeks before you're due to end. Great, so all of these are available on links that we provide you on our Disability and Community Inclusion General Courses flow site. So I might just quickly jump to that now. If I just minimise this presentation. When you jump into flow, this is my dashboard with all the different topics that I'm involved with. So this one here, you should all have access to this one, Disability and Community Inclusion Courses General Info. And if you just jump down to Undergraduate Course Information, there's the information on our degree. Scroll down. We've got all of our orientation day information here, including the slides that we've provided today and today's recording. But down here under prac placement information for undergrad students. This will take you to our website, all of the compliance info, the videos that Cass is talking about, and who to contact with the nitty-gritty questions that you may have. Does your working with children check in one state apply to another state, or can you, what happens if you want to move interstate, or blah, blah, blah. Yeah, or if you've got perhaps a criminal history in this area, does it mean that I can still do my placement? All sorts of great questions will come up. So that's all of that business. Let me just scroll back. Go back another one. What else do we have? Oh, also applying for credit. I've given you a link here on how to do that. Click here to get in contact with our student reps. and also if you're interested in honours. So students who finish with a 3-year bachelor or the 4-year bachelor will be eligible to apply, may be eligible to apply for honours if you get a GPA of 5 or higher, which is like a credit average. So that's all of some great stuff there. Let me jump back to our presentation. Good. So compliances are a really good thing to be on top of. In terms of career pathways, for our graduates who finished with a diploma, the associate degree and the 3-year bachelor, again I was talking about a whole range of leadership roles across the disability sector. Our graduates, step into program coordination roles, team leaders, the case managers across health and allied health, support coordinators, all of those kind of things are sort of changing in the current NDIS landscape. A lot of disability advocates, and then also management policy and leadership roles. So the professional membership, we recommend graduates, students and graduates of these degrees, these courses get membership with National Disability Practitioners. And for our grads with a 4-year DE, will be developmental educators, and if they choose they may be a PBS practitioner, and we've got our 2 professional memberships here with DAI and the BSPA as well. Great, beautiful. So just quickly, these last slides just relate to further information on developmental educators. We give you the link, so please do check out we were just about to finish a new updated website, but there's a lot of great information there. To be a DE, you need full membership with the DEAI to call yourself a developmental educator and to practice as a developmental educator. And here at Flinders we run an accredited undergraduate degree as well as an accredited 2-year master's DE degree as well. And we really would love to encourage you to apply for student membership. It's free in your first year and then only $50 a year while you're a student. We have our scope of practice for developmental education, which is available here and up on the website. That was developed last year and articulates the developmental educator role. So very much it's an allied health profession that is very firmly based in a human rights framework. So everything we do comes back to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of People with Disability. So we were talking before, Tommy, about a scenario in your work environment at the moment where we're looking at what the rights of the child are, a child with disability, but also holistically considering their family dynamic and the needs of parents who are struggling and everyone else that's wrapping around them as well. So in contrast to perhaps some other professions that may be more focused, physio will be just focused on physical functioning, balance, motor coordination. Perhaps the OT in your team may be focused on, let's say, fine motor coordination, on handwriting or fine motor skills perhaps. You've got the social work who's focused on perhaps the family dynamics or getting supports and systems in place for at that level. The DE very much has the holistic perspective of the person across their lifespan with all of this intersectionality going on. We come in so we don't come from a medical model, which historically many of the other allied health professions have developed from. Our point of difference is our disability studies orientation. And I'll talk a bit more about it in that moment. So DEs collaborate together and work together with the person with disability and their people in their network. We promote inclusion and address attitudinal and environmental barriers. Excellent. So again, this is our framework for practice. It's small, it's detailed, you'll find it in the scope of practice. We come from a critical perspectives of disability studies and intersectional theory, and our models of disability, we come from a social model of disability, a human rights model, and the biopsychosocial model, the ICF, informs our practices. The types of roles that DEs will do fall pretty much into four buckets. We do a lot of skill development. That's pretty much our bread and butter. Behaviour support is so needed and there is insane amounts of work in both of those two areas. Disability advocacy, we're in such a critical, problematic place in Australia with advocacy where so much systemic advocacy has been defunded. There is so much need for advocacy at an individual level and at a systemic level, and DEs are beautifully positioned and placed to take leadership in those spaces and to support people with disability to take leadership in those spaces together as well as a big focus on access, education and capacity building. So I won't, I do invite you to have a look at the rest of these slides. They pretty much just highlight some of the key points from our scope of practice, just the range of different tasks that you may do as a DE, including the range of sort of different assessments that you'll conduct and interpret, and the collaborative planning and goal setting. A lot of our work is around life stages and transition, so helping people transition from, let's say, from kindergarten into preschool into primary school, or from primary school into high school. That massive transition from what do we do after high school, someone may be living in correctional centre and are transitioning back into the community, transitioning into aged care, all sorts of things. That's where DEs really are fantastic. Great, and again some more details about all the other various roles that we do. And DEs do practice absolutely everywhere. So we've got DEs working in accommodation, all sorts of disability services, a lot of our DEs specialise in early childhood intervention. A lot of DEs set up their own private practices in this space as well. It's probably the biggest one. Education settings, employment settings, correctional institutions and the justice system. I had essay corrector, the corrections team come and speak to our final fourth year students, just begging for our graduates to come and work for them. So 6 of them came to speak to our students, trying to get them to come and take up work. Healthcare rehab settings, aged care, across government. We've got our graduates in some of the highest positions in the NDIA at state and national level. Non-for-profit organisations, and once you've graduated and you've got a couple of years' experience of supervised practice under your belt, then setting up your own private practice or setting up a business with other allied health professionals. So a lot of our grads, set up businesses with, a clin psych, an OT, a physio, and do a wonderful sort of like wraparound services. Or you can come and join us here at Flinders and join the union research teams if that's your bent as well. A lot of great opportunities, but there's a lot of good work that we need to do to promote the profession. We're not well known, particularly in interstate outside of South Australia. So we've got DEs in every state across Australia, but really increasing our visibility and helping people understand how we can work together with them to meet their goals is our big challenge. So essentially, that's all the slides that we've got covered. Did you have any particular questions about anything about starting our courses?
Well, you don't know what you don't know.
You don't know what you don't know. That's totally true. Let me just go back to where are we?
Yeah, see, I don't think I have that.
The campus. It'll look a little different because that's not in student view. So if you go to your dashboard.
Yeah, it just comes up with the calendar. Well, that's entirely unhelpful.
Okay.
So
Just has like my.
it's a nice
my
calendar
classes.
though. So maybe if you go on one of them, does it work when you go on election time?
All right, well, I'll stop the recording now, but if you are watching our recording, again, big massive welcome. Please do contact me. I'm not going to be teaching on site here in City Campus in semester 2, but I am here as your course coordinator. Please do send me an email. We can have a phone chat. We can do an online Teams meeting, or we can organise and I can come down here for a face-to-face meeting as well too. So all things are possible. We wish you all the very best for a really successful semester.
Thanks, Michelle.
Cheers. Thank you.